Hey folks, Grant over here with Local Coolin Farms. I just finished the second half of the chop and drop for the goats in this part of the swale. Yesterday I did the first half and now I did the second half. So when I say first half and second half, I'm looking for two things. One, I want to drop enough stuff to feed the goats for pretty much the whole day. And then two, I stop when my arms start getting a little rubbery, which is about 45 minutes. And clearing brush with a chainsaw is a little different than like cutting firewood with a chainsaw. It's a little bit more of an aerobic stretch, watch your face kind of activity. So I only go for about 30-45 minutes on that. So when I'm cutting bigger stuff, I'll stop when typically when the fuel tank runs out. So I'll go through a whole fuel tank and then I start looking for to quit. And that's just kind of like safety, because as you get tired, you start getting stupid and you start doing really stupid things with equipment. And I've experienced that myself. Anyway, so some really cool things. Looking at it, the area that we just cleared was about 1/8 of an acre. And it really is in good shape. I'm pretty excited. I'm really happy that we let a lot of this stuff kind of grow up in isolation without grazing it for a while. Because behind me, right here and right here, we've got two really nice live oak trees that I didn't even know were there. I trimmed them up. One was multi-trunk, made it into a single trunk, and then I trimmed up around it. So I'm super excited about that. We left some pine, we left some sweet gum, we left some wax myrtle, and then I'm gonna flip around the camera and kind of go over some more things in detail. I chopped and dropped. I'm leaving everything in place. I don't want to expend any of my time or labor or energy into picking up any of these branches. In our climate in the Gulf Coast, our high rainfall, our high humidity, low winter temps, stuff just breaks down really fast here. And then I don't want to touch it because I want to let the goats be able to spread throughout all this material, and then they can eat what I want. Okay, so what's going on here? So this is the swale. You can see all the bare exposed dirt, and the reason that it's bare exposed dirt is because all the sunlight was kept from penetrating down in here. That, and when this thing is full of water, things don't grow. But when we let light in, even if it was full of water, then more aquatic, wet root system type plants will also establish themselves. And so we just needed to let light in here for sure. This is a great time for us to do it because it's really dry. And so it's just easy to get in and service this swale right now. There was a lot of privet, but there was this is invasive privet. I like it in the short term because the goats, love it. It's freaking amazing to the goats. So they completely get after it. But we also had a lot of yaupon, which is a native. It can really get out of hand. We did leave some yaupon in place. That's one of the live oaks. It's beautiful. It's about 12 feet. That one. This one's a little bit taller, maybe about 15 feet or so. So this is, this is money in the bank right here. I mean, the cost to install a live oak tree like this is, it's hundreds and hundreds of dollars to be able to do that. And so labor, the cost of the tree and everything. Anyway, this is there's an internal fence right here. So we stopped at the fence. So you can see the other side of it right here. So a lot of that stuff, the yaupon and the privet, I just did kind of like a shin high cut on it. So I didn't have to bend over too much. Again, I'm using the chainsaw and not a pole saw. That stuff is going to completely sprout back and it's going to create more food in the future. So you can, and then we left some sweet gums here. We trimmed up the lower branches of the sweet gums. We trimmed up some of the lower branches of some of the pine trees. We left a maple and then we left an elm over here. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I may cut them down later, but as I've said before, to a chainsaw, everything needs to be cut. So when you're kind of going berserk with the chainsaw, like I'm doing here, If you're in doubt about if you're going to keep something or not, just don't cut it. So we left some sapling pines. Of course, we're going to prioritize the live oaks. We left the wax myrtle. We left the elm, the maple, some pine, several southern wax myrtles, and then all the yaupon and all the privet is going to completely grow back. Now, what we did, they are starting to form their berries. The yaupon is, which is a food supply for birds in the winter. And so we kind of take that into account. I'm not a fan of taking away potential food supply, because one big thing that we're trying to do is create a lot of really awesome migratory bird habitat to where they have cover, concealment, and year-round food supply. But this is just a short-term sacrifice for long-term gain. And so that's what we're doing. We've got some decent grass growing in here, so that's a good start. Yeah, so this is just all kinds of pretty exciting. And if you didn't watch the previous video, we had put a 3-strand internal fencing out this whole section. So this whole section over here was completely fenced out for about 2 years. We weren't letting any grazing in here. And so that's just what we decided to do. But now we decided to take it up, realizing that we actually need animal impact in the swale. And then we can always just put, if it's soaking wet and it's disgusting, we don't want any hoof or pugging in here, we can just go ahead and throw up a temporary single strand, and then keep the cattle out specifically, because they're the ones that are going to really pug it up. I still need to get to these oaks over here. We had pulled up the 3-strand on the other side of this internal fence, because that 3-strand was perpendicular to this fence right here, going north to south. The other one was going east to west. I need to get in here with a pole saw and clean up all the lower branches of those pines. So the cattle, it's easier for them to walk underneath. We can walk underneath it, open up all that airflow, and it will just create more of an air-conditioned type environment for everybody if I drop those lower branches, just like I did here. So we dropped the lower ones. Now we got all this beautiful airflow coming around here, but we still have all the shade. And we have dappled sunlight now hitting the ground. So we've done 3 things by doing that. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. Pretty exciting. This is totally worth it. Sometimes it's just completely worth letting an area grow up. And you got a lot of junk in there, but then you may come across a couple of treasures like these live oaks, which kind of made my day. All right, well, y'all have a good one.